We're so excited to finally do this luggage review for all of the 21.5 listeners. Thank you for welcoming us into your home, into your living room.
We decided this was the best place we had available to us. So here we are in my kitchen and living room. So everybody, after all of our listeners berated us about not getting this is a lot of work to get all these bags, procure them, test them properly. But anyway, we did it. We're here. This is the bag review. It's going to be, each bag is going to be a separate video apart from this one.
Yep.
But we wanted to introduce the segment and kind of tell you how we tested the bags in different service.
Yeah, absolutely. As most of our listeners know, Max is an airline pilot on the 737, which is actually relevant for some of these bags. I'm in business aviation, so I'll be looking at it from more of the corporate side. We tested all of the bags, which we should talk about, all four that we used. The Luggageworks Aurora. We used the Paradox Aviation metal four-wheeler bag. We used the Strongbags 22 Vortex, and we used the Briggs & Riley 22 carry-on. So those are the four that we're going to be covering in these videos, but we wanted to set some baselines about how we use them and what kind of configurations they are so that you, the viewer, can kind of understand what the context is of our thoughts. So Max, can you explain to the listeners a little bit about, while you're at the airlines, how you use the bag and what you're evaluating?
Sure. So when I'm working a trip at my airline job, I roll, I would say, fairly heavy as an airline pilot. I have three bags. I have a cooler bag, and then I have a small bag that I have my iPad and other stuff in, and then my roller bag. And so when I leave the airplane, I have three bags attached. The cooler bag slides over the main carry handle. The other bag is on the hook, and that's how it is. And that whole setup is fairly heavy. Like when I'm packed, especially these were all tested in the winter, so we had coats and things like that, jeans, heavier stuff in the bag, clothes wise. My setup is pretty heavy, probably, 50-ish pounds or so when it's all said and done. And so I tested it based from the airline perspective, which is, through airports, on escalators, in and out of the crew van. My normal load of clothes, an airline overnight is much shorter than a corporate one in days and also time to be doing stuff besides flying. So my normal airline pack is in the wintertime, we're talking here, is jeans, workout gear, a couple t-shirts, some workout shoes, flip-flops, even in the winter, because a lot of times you don't leave the hotel. So I just put flip-flops on to go to the bar, even in Minneapolis in the winter. And, a hat. And that's in a spare shirt in case I destroy the one I'm wearing, and undershirts and that stuff. So it's mostly t-shirts and some socks and stuff. But corporate trip, at least for mine, especially if it's a workation type trip where you're going to the Caribbean for a week or something like that, that's obviously much different. You have to have your beachwear, your shorts, your t-shirts, and you have to have nice stuff. Pants, collared type shirts for nice dinner, all that stuff. So it's a much more varied load. What do you normally pack?
Exactly. And, maybe you're going to a dinner with the boss and you're going to bring a sport coat or something like that. So I looked at some of the other features. Can I expand the suitcase? What if I have a garment that I need to put into the bag? And how does it protect that? And then on top of, from the business aviation standpoint, we're less concerned about, is this carry-on size or not? Because usually we're the ones handling the bag and putting it into the baggage compartment of the plane and then directly into the rental car. But often we do have to airline still. And so all of the bags that we evaluated are carry-on size, the traditional 22-inch. So I think that's important to note. I would say the other thing, that the lens that I look through as a corporate pilot, is that durability is probably slightly less important to me versus functionality and features. Because Max, when you're walking from the crew room to the gate, and then you have a gate change, and then and then you're going to the parking garage, you're carrying your bag. You're dragging it behind you much more than I am. For most of the corporate operators, I drive my car right up to the plane. I take it out of the trunk, throw it in the baggage compartment. The most I'm really wheeling the bag is probably from the car up the hotel, to the room.
Yeah, it's much more gentlemanly service.
Yeah.
And I tell you, at the conclusion of this review, flying both corporate and airline flying,
Yep.
I'm going to have 2 separate bags.
Yeah.
And I do. The other thing too, corporate, is you're carrying maybe 1 extra bag.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not 3.
Yeah,
definitely
I
not
only carry that backpack.
how heavy all of that stuff is. Yeah, I carry a backpack with iPad, laptop, and whatever, some chargers.
That's another thing. I am not going to be evaluating that J hook or that additional strap as much, because it's nice to have, but in corporate it's just not as necessary.
Yeah, I think the best bag for airline service is a different bag than what's best for corporate service.
So we're going to jump into all of these reviews. They're going to be below. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, and you're going to get all of the reviews. You'll get our thoughts on each bag individually, and jump down in the comments below. Let us know. Are you using one of these bags? Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? What do you think?
And also, don't forget to smash that like button.
All right, let's get into these reviews.